Oh, well, hello, everyone. Hi, Christine. It's so nice to see you again. Yeah. Um, in case you've forgotten, Christine, how we usually start is with the soul stirring element. And maybe we can just go around and we can each share what is stirring our souls at the moment. Um, I can start. Um, Interestingly enough, it's actually an Instagram account and they're calling it the Kenyan Dictionary. And it's basically sort of a tongue-in-cheek perspective to different cultural things about Kenya or about mothers. Like on Mother's Day, they had one reel that they did about, how when you go to the market, like with a Kenyan mother, the way she negotiates, it's like a mix of so much so much sort of condescending attitude and also demanding respect at the same time. But it was really spot on because I could just hear my mother's voice, like when someone tells her this is 100 shillings, she's like, you're charging me 100 shillings for this because what can it do? Like, really, what can it do? I was laughing. I mean, it like takes me home immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you, Jennifer?
Oh, well, I was going to share a little bit of orientation even to this session. Is what stirred my soul last Friday was that I shared my collage for the first time in real life, in the world. I was
Yeah.
invited to a local show. And it was just amazing. I had friends and family arrive and support me, and and maybe I could have been an artist the whole time. It was pretty great. And it was just an honor to be with all these amazing humans and creators. And
Yeah.
it was just beautiful. And it was a fundraiser. And it made me feel really local. And
Oh,
anyone who's
yeah.
been following my journey is, that I moved home so that I could be local again.
Yeah.
And that my art can be a vehicle for conversation here.
Yeah.
And so, I will just share that in the chat. I have an Instagram post where I kind of share about it, which I think you've already seen. But anyway, that's my soul
All
story.
right.
Lovely. Lovely.
So my my soul, I guess, is kind of all stirred up right now after this giant weekend that I had that actually went through yesterday because I had to go back to Alexandria to get the dead car. I love AAA. AAA stirred my soul yesterday. I don't know, people being good to each other, reconnecting with family over this big family event weekend, my children dancing together like wild, wonderful people. Yeah, and just some conversations that I don't really quite have words for right now, but yeah, just this experience that I'm now sort of recovering from and savoring a little bit. And
Oh, that sounds great.
yeah, it was terrible. So, okay, so how the most important things in life are both fantastic and horrible at all at the same time. Yeah. Oh, to be alive in the world today. So yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's that feeling of really like being alive. It's you feel like you're being torn.
Stretched, pummeled a little bit. And then you go work it out on the dance floor, even though, I don't dance. And I mean, I never have been never have. And my youngest son is like a magnificent dancer. There were people buttonholing me and saying, is he professional? Because one of the people who got married was a professional dancer. I'm like, no, he's a fantastic theater kid. artist person, you know. So that, yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go straight to the grounding exercise. I think because I think it's really, really a good one today. And what we decided to do today, Christine, is to offer something from Audre Lorde, and I'm going to attempt to deliver it. Yeah. Yeah, but it's all about reconnecting basically with the wisdom of our bodies and our breath. And we do this because oppressive systems that we're navigating, they seek to disconnect us from ourselves and from each other and the places that hold us. So hopefully this feels safe to you, and I invite you to slow your pace, just to arrive, breathe, and be, and listen to these selections of Audre Lorde's essay, which is called The Uses of the Erotic. There are many kinds of power, used and unused, acknowledged or otherwise. The erotic is a resource within each of us that lies in a deeply female and spiritual plane, firmly rooted in the power of our unexpressed or unrecognized feeling. As women, we have come to distrust that power, which rises from our deepest and non-rational knowledge. The erotic offers a well of replenishing and provocative force to the woman who does not fear its revelation, nor succumb to the belief that sensation is enough. The erotic is a measure between the beginnings of our sense of self and the chaos of our strongest feelings. It is an internal sense of satisfaction to which, once we have experienced it, we know we can aspire. For having experienced the fullness of this depth of feeling and recognizing its power, in honor and self-respect, we can require no less of ourselves. This is one reason why the erotic is so feared and so often relegated to the bedroom alone when it is recognized at all. For once we begin to feel deeply all the aspects of our lives, we begin to demand from ourselves and from our life pursuits that they feel in accordance with that joy which we know ourselves to be capable of. As women, we need to examine the ways in which our world can be truly different. I'm here speaking of the necessity for reassessing the quality of all the aspects of our lives and of our work, and of how we move toward them and through them. The very word erotic comes from the Greek word eros, the personification of love in all its aspects, born of chaos and personifying creative power and harmony. Yeah. I think for me, what really stands out and just sticks in my mind, because these are excerpts from her essay. It's really when she says the erotic offers a well of replenishing and provocative force for the woman who does not fear its revelation nor succumb to the belief that sensation is enough. I feel it's it really sticks in my mind, because then I realize there's so much more power in the erotic that, yeah, than what we're told, really. in society. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, we have arrived.
We've arrived. And now I'm looking for my cell phone. Oh, it's on the
Of course you are. Because we are all human
my
here.
notes are. That's where my notes are. So let me find that. Okay. Well, I am just tickled pink to share with the both of you and anyone who will listen to this recording someday. What is my experience of being a collagist and how that can matter to folks as a creative practice.
I'm going to turn off this light over my
Go
head.
for it. Yeah,
I'm with you. Keep talking. I'm here.
Yeah. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of, this is the time also to grab our supplies. So if you have a magazine in that hotel room, Joanne, it is time for cutting.
Yeah.
Or this one I picked up from my hotel last week, Bread and Butter.
Oh, wow.
My friend who was in a hospital room, someone had brought her people. This is like the a flyer I get in the mail. Anything that can be cut or torn is our thing. And
I'll be right back.
please, we know you're here. Go for it. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you. Sorry.
No worries. I've got a brochure here that I picked up at a museum.
Yeah.
Some lovely photographs. This is a weekly advert newspaper that comes to my mailbox, whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
It has coupons. It has different ads, and but even you can think beyond that, because my young friend and I went to a museum, also with the museum, and they had us making artwork of some sort. Now,
Nice.
I enjoy it, but I can cut this up now. It's now a beautiful piece of paper that I can work with. It has some lovely textures. And the one that I've been starting to use a lot more are packaging.
Yeah, I got mine as well from the chocolate.
From the chocolate. Yeah. This was also chocolate that my friend brought from Hawaii. So there's like some kind of carving.
Yeah.
And then a family story on the back. I love old photographs. This is my jasmine, what do you call it? Incense that I just finished. It has lovely jasmine flowers here. And I thought, I'm gonna put those in the collage.
Amazing.
So now I have I'm always scanning. I'm always looking, right? So I thought I'm gonna turn the camera so that you can actually see the desk where I'm working, and we all just are gonna work together. That's like simultaneous co-working now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to watch the time a bit as well, but let's see if this can.
But Jen, I guess we also just need like an A4 piece of paper where we're gonna stick the stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I use anything I find. So I've decorated canisters that my coffee came in with collage. I've decorated, like any surface really can contain collage. And so it doesn't even have to be hard stock paper. It can just be flimsy little pieces of cardboard that your phone came in. Like anything is possible here.
Yeah.
So the first step in collage is to do what Audre Lorde invites us to, which is to follow our desire. That's actually the first step of collage, because you're going to look through any of these. I've said yes to this jasmine. I have followed my yes. My yes says, "Ooh, that's lovely. I like that." I'm going towards that jasmine, right? And that's what will happen as I go through some of these magazines, right? And I literally am just flipping through and saying yes. I'm saying yes to image. I'm saying yes maybe to a word or a group of words. I don't contain collage only to image. I think it has also, there's just some incredible stuff that includes words as a word person, as a writer. But I'll also say that doing work in image helps my writing. It helps me to connect ideas and so yeah, I love collage for a few reasons. I love collage because it can be as simple or as complicated as you want. Some of the most amazing collagists use a lot of white space and feature just a few images. I tend to be more cover everything, but I really appreciate that there's just literally no wrong or right way to make a collage. And you don't have to identify as an artist. That's also so important for me. Because so many people I talk to are like, oh, I'm not artistic. I could never do that. And the truth is, any single one of us can take this scissors, the most important supply for me, and take something free that they've found and make it. So the accessibility of that is important and exciting to me. And now I found a little bird that I have said yes to.
Yeah.
Right? And yeah, that accessibility piece is super important to me because art and craft supplies are a real privilege, actually.
Oh man, yeah.
Right? Expendable
Yeah.
income for that. But that's not always accessible to everybody. And so that's why as a practice, I feel it's important for our sector to think about, because there's always stuff we can kind of cut and mess with and have fun with and around us, right? I think for me, that's also really fun. I'm going to pull out the People magazine for this part. I also love that there's a deconstruction aspect here. So one of my favorite things is to take Martha Stewart's magazine, which I get because I'm a member of the Botanical Gardens. Martha Stewart is sort of this home guru who everyone listens to, and it actually perpetuates so much whiteness. It's all about the perfect, yes, there it is. It's all about the perfect home. And the truth is, none of us have a perfect home. And so there's something really beautiful for me. And, you know, the royalty here, Prince Harry, and I'm sure many people around the world would like to deconstruct royalty. So there's right, there's something powerful for me about like, okay, this is the propaganda, the messages, the images that capitalism bombards us with. Like, we cannot escape being marketed to at this point in human history. So how do I take this thing and tear it apart? Like, to actually bring some destroy energy and some reorganization energy to the thing. And that deconstruction bit is really important to me too. Like, it's a rage practice. So it's like neurotic, follow the desire. And it's also like, ooh, tear that up. That's not exactly what the world I'm building. I am not building a celebrity driven world. Well, let me cut up the celebrities. Yeah, I like that part of it a lot, actually. So yeah, I think I think it's a creative practice it's just fun. And people can really surprise themselves with the stuff that they make, which is really cool. Yeah, so we're gonna take just a few more minutes. I'm gonna go through here and invite you all as well to keep looking through whatever you've got in front of you. Some other tools of the trade is my handy X-Acto knife, if I want to get really detailed. But that's it. I think there's also beautiful collage that's literally torn. So you really don't even need the scissors or the knife. You can do it with lots of different things. yeah, it's just so interesting to look at it with also the eye of like, what do I want out of this?
Yeah.
Right? What's here for me? And it's not always everything.
Yeah, or just following the rabbit trail of what catches your eye.
Yeah.
Without knowing, So yeah, I was my plan today was going to be to do this with textiles, because that's kind of what I've been drawn to lately. Just like color and texture, it is very nourishing to me. But I like what you're saying about, there's different places that this kind of thing can tug your brain into. So that's a different experience. So what I'm going to do, and I actually did not end up with my scrap pile down here with me. I thought it was down here in my dungeon, but it was not.
Oh.
So that's okay. So I'm actually going to, I have grabbed some magazines, and I'm actually going to sew pieces onto a piece of paper.
Oh,
Just,
that sounds exciting as well.
And that's also the joy of collage for me, is that it can accommodate also all kinds of other art forms.
Yeah.
It's just a medium. So you can, lots of collages paint and use paint with their collages. I love the stitching. That is such a
turquoise.
yeah.
Oh, that's a really pretty color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that I did after our Healing Solidarity conference last year, I took like lots of notes just because of all the brilliance of humans that were talking and sharing. And I pulled phrases out of those notes and wrote them on strips of paper and then wove them like a wheel. And so you can't really read them all. You can read the ends of them and get some snippets, but it was an act of, I mean, weaving is so much in the feminine domain. We use that idea all the time, I think, but it was like an actual weaving. And so there's something powerful about that is how we create the world anew. We weave things together that weren't previously together. We repair things that had been separated. Yeah, it feels important somehow. It felt important. And how cool to have like a visual artistic representation of something that's super professional for everybody, talking and dreaming, but artists, I mean, look at that sequence. Thank you, Harry Styles and Shania Twain. I'm gonna love that color. I love that pattern.
Yeah.
I don't care about Shania Twain. I mean, I want her to be well, happy, and peaceful. But more importantly, I really want this deep sequence color.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this exercise is giving me permission to cut up pictures, which I think from this magazine, which they basically stopped producing a while ago. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's the New African. They used to produce it, I think, in Belgium. And I used to love looking for it when I lived in Germany. And for the longest time, I'd look at pictures like these and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I could try and stitch a dress up like that. But now just like, I'm so excited to just cut it up because let's just do it and have fun with it.
Yeah. I thought about collage the other day because I ran across a box of my old reports from my early days in the aid sector when I was an aid worker living in Southern Africa. Yeah. And I was writing and contributing to all these reports. And so I saved them because this was sort of, I suppose we had flash drives maybe at the end of that time. It was, you're still very analog. And I thought, oh, I'm going to read these again someday. I'm going to hold these onto these. And now I'm thinking, what if we collage with that?
Oh, yeah.
I do that when I come back from like big sector conferences. Yeah. And they give you a bunch of stuff. I will immediately deconstruct it and it helps me cope with all the BS I had.
Dismantling, yeah.
But also there's beautiful images, like our communications departments make beautiful images, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, really beautiful. I mean, look at this great turtle. It's not, he's going after the jellyfish, sorry, but it's actually a piece of plastic. There's actually a message here.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be nice. And I like big and small images. I'm looking for both because
Mhm.
the big images can be like the background of something that you build on,
Mhm.
or we can add. I also work at really different scales. I send postcards with collages to my friends.
Yeah, I got one. Yeah.
But I also do much bigger pieces because I'm learning that the art world likes big, because
Yeah,
it's
they do.
also all obsessed with big. So yeah,
man.
we're learning many things. But I was at a show, part of the show I was at over the weekend, they had a post-it, they called it a post-it show. So they invited artists to draw on literally the sticky post-its that we all use in our sector over and over. But it was incredible what these folks made on a small scale. And then each one was $25. And so that was the real fundraiser part of the evening. You could take a well-known artist home for $25. It was brilliant.
Mm. Yeah.
So scale is so interesting.
Yeah, we've there's been an event here in town, an annual event where just local artists, important and new, what's it called? It's like a draw-a-thon or something, and they just bring whatever supplies they want, and there's some supplies provided there, but they'll have rotating groups of artists for like an hour at a time, and whenever they finish something, somebody goes and hangs it on the wall, and then there's bidding on those pieces as a fundraiser.
Oh, wow.
It's just like generated in real time, you know. And that's kind of that reminds me, what you described reminded me of that. It's a wonderful thing. Boy, Martha Stewart is making me hungry. I mean, y'all, look.
Oh my God, no.
Isn't that terrible?
Danger,
Danger.
Her spring garden issue was very helpful for this that was in the show.
Yeah, this is like the 2018 Halloween issue.
How fun.
Yeah, and I found a nice sheet pan recipe. Just
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the time. Probably I'm going to turn to making. So this is and I also say for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, the part of collecting and following desire is also sorting. So we're deconstructing, we're saying yes. We're also sorting through what's useful, what's not. And I think of that very like akin to the spring. That's also happening in nature at this time. They're deciding we've kind of been deciding what's gonna survive into the summer. What are we leaving behind in the winter, and what's gonna actually survive? So that sorting process, I also really love and appreciate.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So as we make, I'm gonna pull out, I've started a little one this morning. Based on my time here in Nebraska. I hope you all can see it a little. It's hard. It's quite tiny. But I'm working on, I actually got inspired by this labyrinth. If you can see it there. It's like a little tiny labyrinth. And I wanted to build on that because it really represents to me complexity. And then I also found this other round image that said, "Do not enter." And I was thinking about the relationship between, there's just always people who want to take the simple explanation, who don't want to venture into the labyrinth to all that complexity around. And that just felt like I needed to say something about that in relation to home. And so that's what's happening. But I am so excited about the sequence, so we can queer this up a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, like, there's also this little monster also came in to this because I think people are afraid they're going to unleash some monster if they get into the complexity of things sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
They're gonna upset the apple cart, as we say here. And then I found these two words that I also loved, which is inside whistle. So growing up, there was a whistle at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. from the volunteer firehouse. And it was get up, eat, get home. And it was literally like, and it's something that the whole town, regulates to, basically.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, what's the inside whistle? How do we reconnect to our own sense of everything, our desire? I mean, I was literally thinking about this time together, and I thought that's part of what following your desire is about. It's about, when is it time for me to do what I want to do?
Oh, yeah.
That also feels really important. So here we go. I'm gonna keep working on this little piece, and I'm gonna play a slideshow now. I've been collecting some other collages from around the world, and just wanted to like do a little show and tell, and play some music, and we'll just keep making together. Yeah. Okay. YouTube. We're going to calm the nervous system. It's going to be all, there we go. And then we'll come back around 7 or 8 minutes before the hour and just share what we've been up to. How about that? I realized the slideshow never rotated.
I didn't even notice. I was so
We were
engrossed.
so busy working. Oh well. All good. All good. I can at least it was really fun to put it together. I'll share it in the collective regardless. Yeah, so let's see what's happened over there. I wanted to like give a tip also. We don't even need glue. We don't need scissors, nor do we need glue, because now we have these things called the phone. And you can actually just place pieces together and take a picture. And you've made an electronic collage now without having to have glue or adhesive even. I just love that. And I did that. I often will do that when I'm on the road, while I'm traveling, because I won't bring all my supplies with me. So yeah, let's see your worldview. How have you been expressing yourself? That's also the joy of collage to me, is that only you can make the connections you're making with those images. They are unique to you. They are your creative expression. And that's so beautiful. Joanne or Christine, do you have anything you want to share or show? Insights? Things that occurred to you as you were making?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
2 minutes. Christine, you can go.
Okay, great. Stop, rest, built for wonder.
Oh, that is amazing.
George. What do you want? You're muted, Christine. What do you want to tell us about this piece?
When did I mute? Who knew I was muted? This was very speedy. This was like, you see the back. It's actually on the back of a another design that I was working out for one of these textile pieces, but I just went racing through Martha and then AAA World. I love those AAA people, I got to tell you. And just yanked out pages and then flipped through and tried to remember what caught my eye, and didn't use everything that I pulled out, you know, but yeah, like there's one, where did she, there's one little thing that really struck me that I didn't use because I don't, can you
Wow.
it's like an antique doll and she's like weird and creepy. This is Martha Stewart's Halloween issue, remember? But I'm like, my initial reaction to her was like, ooh, you know, but then she's an antique dolly and she might be completely full of somebody's love, you know. I've always kind of joked that I'm a little bit of an animist because like abandoned toys make me sad, you know. It's just like, yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep her with me and see where she goes. And
yeah. And she might be attached to some other expression.
Yeah.
Wow, right.
Yeah.
I actually have at home a box where for the last 15 years, I've been restoring my yeses. So now I'm at a point in my collage where I flash an idea or get something that I want to make, and then I find the images to express the thing. And I actually invite people over. If you're ever in Omaha, everybody, we sit around and collage, and I also offer those images to others because they're my yeses, but they might be yeses for others. So we kind of do collective collaging, which is super fun.
Here's another one that I did not use, but it says nothing else.
Nice.
And I'm like, and also we have water.
Nice.
So
Love
my
it.
first little yeses in waiting.
I love it. I will say, given the white dominant culture that exists in my context, also when I find images of people of color and indigenous people in particular, I will make I will make an effort to get those images into my collection because I want that to be also available to people. And it starts to like once you start to look for that as well, you see how little representation there actually is. And so to elevate that in our own work also is part of building the new world, right?
Yeah, I have this creamy, dreamy white woman's breast. And her head is cut off. What's up with that?
Right.
You know, I mean, it was like her
you start
off the edge of the page, and I don't even know what the article was about. I was just like, okay, wow.
But you start to notice these things a little bit more as you also start collaging.
Yeah.
Joanne, are you ready to share?
Yes, I can share.
Awesome.
So this is what I have. Let me see if you can actually see it up close.
Today, unmasked. I can't
And
quite
then,
read. Homage.
Yeah, homage à l'art. So like paying homage to the arts.
A la art. Okay, amazing.
Yeah. I think for me, like being a first time, really like putting the images together. This over here, this little detail, like I just started getting fascinated like with people's lips. So like over here, I cut out like a Black woman had yellow lips, and then here like red lips, and then here like white lips. And then when I got to this point where I was like, oh, I can actually switch her lips and create something new, like that for me was like, like it doesn't have to be the picture that you had originally, but you can alter certain elements. And that moment over there was a light bulb for me that I just felt, yes, like I felt like, yeah, like I made it, like I made something that I was really proud of and happy about.
Something new, something that has never existed before.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah, but that is pretty much what was jumping at me.
And was that green background you added, or that was on the paper? Looks like you did background first.
Oh, this green was actually the paper. I got some green paper. Yeah, exactly. But it's really fun. I feel like if I do it longer, then it's like, first of all, I'm just getting lost into the whole process. And then like just thinking through the different elements, because like right now I left a couple of things away, I mean out as well, but I just find the whole process also very I find it very relaxing, but also like it's just taking me to a different space, like really the creation process. It's yeah.
The importance of play.
Yeah.
The importance of play.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And collage can get you there really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, I tend to be more laborious in other art forms. Like, I gotta get the right conditions. Collage, I can sit anywhere and just tear some images that I like, and you know, I can start to play really quickly. So this is my final.
Wow.
Yeah, I found another phrase that I liked, which is the strange beauty of farming communities. And I always try to have groups of 3. So I've got my 3 stamps, and I've got my 3, I think those are maple or oak leaves. I never know the difference. But that's mine in the end.
Oak.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
I got,
wow.
Yeah. Beautiful work. I'm just so impressed. Look at what we did.
I
Incredible.
know.
I wonder, like, what would happen if we did this in our teams? What would happen if the idea of like saying yes and making sure that the people we portray have said a deep yes to the work we create? with them. Like, these are the things that I dream about for our sector now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you both very much for being here. I'm so grateful. I will share those slides in the collective, because I did put together these wonderful wonderful slideshow from around the world of collages. I will offer for the recording that our next Global Dev Communicators Connect is on 8th of June. And for those listening, Healing Solidarity is excited to share a BIPOC only spoken word poetry and collaging course entitled Embodying Rest, the Art of Radical Care. And that's a collaboration between Nikita Shah and Takiwa Danso. It runs from 25 May to 6 July. And all the details I will put in the chat for us, and please check it out in the collective. Thank you both for being here. Thanks for the inspiration and the stitching and the connecting.
Oh,
Been beautiful.
Like you can move them around too. Like
So you've opened up something totally new for me, Christine. Movement in collage. How amazing.
Why not?
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, take good care.
It was so great. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.